Wakey, wakey, you sleepy idiots.
Hello, wake up
Wake
over
up.
there, you
It's
sleepy.
morning. It's
It's
morning for everybody.
yeah. And then when we end the podcast, it's suddenly nighttime and you have to go to bed. It's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
long.
Yeah, that's our gimmick. We can change
That's the
time.
lore. And when you say our gimmick, who
Hi.
are you?
Hi, I'm Jesse. You can find me on Twitter at L by Night. And who the fuck are you?
Hi, I'm Felicia. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Felicia3. And the two of us plus Beth are the Sleepy Idiots Club. That also includes you. And if you'd like to interact with other Sleepy Idiots, you can go to our website, which is www.idiots.fm. There's a link to our Discord where you can, I don't know, tell us that you I can't think of a single example.
Tell us that you suck.
Okay, or that we suck.
You can tell us we suck.
Yeah.
I
And
can
then
take it.
after you finish telling us on Discord that we suck, you can go over to podchaser.com or Apple Podcasts and officially review us.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Felicia.
Hey, Jesse.
What's going on with you?
Today, my my mother has been sending me a lot of Facebook Marketplace ads for apartments near her because my rent is
Yeah.
going up, and she's taking that as an opportunity for me to move closer to her,
Uh-huh.
which I haven't decided either way. She took it upon herself to message this person and arrange a tour. So a little bit ago,
For you?
for me, well, no, I mean them to go on the tour on my behalf while FaceTiming me.
Good Lord.
So I got that FaceTime a little while ago, and it was a very pretty area, but it was just kind of a I want to call it a remodeled storage shed on a giant like farm property.
Yeah.
It's like not tiny. It was like 600 square feet, but
Internet's guaranteed to suck.
but yeah, it was just like on this dude's property, which I know isn't that abnormal because there's a lot of like granny units that are either attached to or separated from the house that people rent out. But like it's an active farm.
Yeah.
Like some of the pictures included images of like goats and llamas, which is cool, but also there were like tractors and work trucks parked right in front of where the apartment would be, and attached to the apartment was a big old like storage area and garage for tractors. And I was like, so you're telling me I could just walk out my front door one day and there's just a guy feeding his goats, and
Yeah.
I don't know this man.
No, that's
uh
weird.
yeah, so I like, maybe 5 to 10 minutes into the FaceTime call, they had just gotten there, and I was like, "No, I don't want this place." So I went through this whole conversation on and my mom wasn't, like, upset about it. I told her, like, I don't like the lack of privacy, it's just strange. But she
Yeah.
basically also implied that I really need to lower my standards, and I'm like,
Nah,
"No,
dude.
I'm actually not gonna do that."
It sounds
So,
like
yeah.
a shitty it sounded kinda shitty.
Yeah. So that was my afternoon. The day was going okay until then. I've been having what I'm calling my main character days where
Mhm.
I do essentially my errands, and this is a way to get me out of the house to do my errands by pretending I'm the main character of this story, because if I have to go to Trader Joe's and realize that all the other people around me are sentient human beings, that it's overwhelming and makes me anxious. So,
Alright.
yeah, I went to a bakery and I got like a lemon tart thing, and I went to Trader Joe's and I went to a dispensary, and I told the woman who was checking out my purchase that she was stunning, and then I ran away.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, she complimented my sweatshirt, and I was like, "Thank you, you're stunning."
And then you booked
Essentially.
it.
Well, she had already rung up my purchase, so I was like, "Okay, goodbye."
Oh, I see.
Um,
You should go back. Maybe there's something there.
I've been there several I mean, it's my usual place, so I'm sure I'll see her again.
You got a rapport going.
Yeah, I don't know, we'll see, but she was very pretty, and yeah, that was my day. Up until that, I have been doing largely nothing. So how about you?
This week I worked on music a lot and watched a lot of basketball, and that was about it. I had a
Basketball's
very
still going, huh?
yeah. Well, it was the last basketball I was watching was college basketball,
Oh, I
and now it's
see.
the NBA.
Oh.
They're doing their playoffs, and I love basketball, so that's what I was watching. And I did quite a bit of work on music. I'm trying to like get better at that, and it's gradually working.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's it though. I had a boring week. I am off next week for 2 weeks, and I'm very excited about
Ooh,
that.
nice.
Oh boy.
The fuck is that?
It's funny, I was about to say there's like a 99% chance you're gonna hear my work alerts go off.
Uh-oh, do you have to go do something?
No.
Cool.
Hey Felicia,
Hey, Jesse.
what did we watch this week?
The only thing that I watched that you did not also watch is a show that Facebook recommended to me called Evil Lives Here,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's a docu-series by Discovery, and it's every episode is like a person telling a story about how a relative or a loved one or a close personal friend of theirs did some like committed some kind of horrible crime.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not usually super into true crime stuff, but I think this is compelling because it's like it's not somebody who was, killed by this awful person and there's, like, a mystery surrounding it. It's like a family member telling you kind of all the signs that led up to this person, like, snapping,
Mhm.
and it's kind of interesting from, like, a psychological standpoint. It gives me that same kind of rage where it's like our justice system is broken. Like, a
Yeah, it
lot of
is.
these people had terrible things happen to them when they were kids, and, like, CPS got called and came to the house, but the abuser was there too,
Yeah.
and so the kids were terrified to say anything, and CPS was just like, "Alright, everything looks great here, we'll go now."
Ugh,
And it's, like,
man.
so disgusting and so broken and, like, up until so recently. Even I mean, I'm sure that's still the case. I'd like to think it's better now,
No,
but
I think it's getting worse.
yeah, probably.
It's kinda
Uh,
hard to, like, hold on to social workers currently.
yeah. So there's that aspect of it. And of course, like, no victim blaming here. But there are some episodes where it's like, yeah, we never would have thought little Billy would end up killing somebody. He did strangle a cat in front of us, but we just thought that was him being a kid. And it's
Oh,
like,
man.
oh man, there are some just awful parents who really
Yeah.
just needed to put their child in therapy. But yeah, it is also interesting how many like clear psychological disorders just went completely undiagnosed because there were no therapists involved. A lot of these took place in like the 80s, so nobody
Yeah.
fucking just went to therapy.
No. No, it was, like, looked down upon.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been my week. It's like it's dark, but it's more interesting than I feel like true crime in a lot of aspects where you're just like watching a serial killer documentary because I feel like those
Yeah.
are just dark. Whereas at least with these, you know that there are survivors because they're telling you the story.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've been watching that.
I might check that out because it sounds interesting,
Yeah.
and I hate our justice system a lot, so it'll give me I'll hate watch it.
So, I mean, sometimes people get what they deserve, but other times it's like this man literally threatened to kill his sister at his parole hearing, and they were still like, "All right, you'll be up for parole again next year."
Good
Like,
lord,
what?
man. Yeah, it's broken as fuck.
Yeah,
We watched Fish Tank live in VR.
and you have continued to do so.
I have. Not much today, though.
Did we explain what it is? I mean, I
No.
we should if we haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know who the creator is, but Fish Tank is essentially like a reality show, but it's a live stream of 6 or 8 people in this apartment, and there's cameras in every bedroom, and, like, in all the common areas, and I think the goal is that they just have to stay there for, like, 6 weeks, but
Yeah.
they get fucked with at points, and you can also, like one of the interesting things is the audience can interact by paying certain amounts of money for things to happen, like, you can pay X amount of dollars and one of their beds gets taken away, or
It's
you can pay X
500,
am or you can pay X amount of dollars to, like, have a message you write played in the house over their speaker
100.
system.
It's $100 and they spam them when they turn them on.
Oh god.
They're making so much money.
Yeah.
Not for me though, it's stupid.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't pay money, but it was interesting to watch. Although the night that we watched it in VR was like the first night it happened, and one of the first like quote unquote challenges was just to count a bunch of rice that this guy decided to dump out. So we just
Yeah.
kind of sat there and watched people count rice for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah.
The idea is they're, like, starting them off slow, and by the end, it's gonna turn into a hell house. Like, they're already ramping shit up.
It seems like for the most part it's just one dude that comes in and like destroys stuff in the kitchen.
Well, that was last night.
Well,
That's
that
the that's
that
the
happened
host.
initially too.
What did he destroy initially?
Well, he was, like, eating pieces of pizza and then, like, putting pizza on the burners and just turning it on
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, just spitting everywhere and coughing on everything.
Last night, he destroyed 2 cabinets with punches. I think he's done, like, martial arts or something before. Because one of the people in this house is, like, an Andrew Tate fan. I
Oh
should mention
god.
that too. They've got people in there that are easily trollable.
Yeah, shitheads.
Yeah, shitheads. So which is a great idea because it makes you care less when they're getting fucked with. But this guy's like an Andrew Tate fan and has been doing, like, random push-ups. So
Oh,
he's
the baby voice man?
yeah, he's got a speech impediment.
You it's like it's a speech impediment I have not heard before, and it makes it sound exactly like he's purposely doing a toddler voice.
Yeah, it's the, if you've ever seen Big Bang Theory, the guy with the speech impediment in that show, it's, like, similar.
But he also doesn't shut the fuck up. He's always talking.
Yeah, he's annoying, he's extremely annoying.
We're allowed to make fun of him because he's a bad person.
Yeah, he's not great. So the host came in and put on boxing gloves, and he made this guy, like, hold a pad, and I'm not kidding you, he kicked this thing as hard as he could and punched it for, like, 30 minutes.
Jesus.
And I'm not sure how that guy was still holding the pad up because it was, like, completely torquing his shoulder and stuff. I gave you a
Mhm.
gif of the kick,
Yeah.
one of the kicks.
Dude's head went completely back.
Yeah, it's not just, like, light kick, but he's got this guy thinking that he's, like, teaching him MMA or something. So, I don't it's big troll energy all throughout,
Yeah.
and, yeah, I'm kinda glued to it. Because I'm very much in I wanna see what crazy shit happens next, so I'm the target audience.
Yes.
Me and, like, shitty 14-year-olds are probably the target audience.
Well, shitty 14-year-olds can't afford to be paying 100 and $500. There are other
That's true,
internet trolls.
that's true. I went on the Discord for the show, and it's a cesspool.
Oh god, I bet.
Yeah, so I feel, like, kind of ashamed of watching the show
As long
because
as you don't pay for anything.
it's like no, no, I would never. It's like the internet's worst people in that Discord, though.
Yeah, I
Um,
bet.
I left it quickly.
One of the people in the fucking live chat had the username Jeffrey Epstein. Like, of course it's a cesspool.
Yeah, it's a problem. Other than Fish Tank Live, we watched The Head.
Yeah, so The Head is something that I watched a couple years ago when it came out on HBO, and it's like a, at the time, 6 episode, one season series about these researchers in Antarctica on like a remote research base, and it kind of starts out with like something happened, there's one survivor, and we're kind of going back in time, and through her story she's letting us know what happened episode to episode.
Mhm.
The first season is solid.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, it's super well done, it's really compelling, there's like a very good whodunit going on.
We watched, like, half of it on Saturday night, and I wanted to no, Friday night, and I wanted to keep going, but it was, like, 2 a.m.
I think we blasted through all of it in a day.
No, it was
'Cau
2 days.
No, because then we started the 2nd season.
Oh, wait, yeah, 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 you're right.
We blasted through all 6 episodes in one
That's
sitting,
right. That's why it was 2 a.m.
but then so there we saw that there was a 2nd season that also had 6 episodes, so we were like, "Oh, did they split this up?" And I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So when we got through all 6, we were like, "Oh, so what's the 2nd season?" So another day we started the 2nd season thinking maybe it's like an anthology series, maybe it's a whole new story because the
Uh-huh.
first one ends pretty definitively. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like there was more story to be told.
No, I had my suspicions immediately that the 2nd season was gonna suck.
Yeah, I had just hoped that it was going to be a completely different story because if that was the case, it had more of a chance. But it
Yeah.
was not. It's the same story continued, and it was so bad.
Very convoluted, extraordinarily, like, badly written.
Yeah.
I forgot to look if the same people wrote, but I guarantee they didn't.
Yeah, there are a couple of the same actors from the first season, but that's about it. This one takes place on like a research ship in the middle of the ocean somewhere,
Yeah,
and
stupid.
bad shit starts happening, and it's just like there's a cast of characters who are all very stereotypical, like murder mystery type. What's the word I'm looking for? Like typecast. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, it just the story doesn't make sense. Like it constantly is contradicting itself.
I'm not entirely sure why they didn't go back to the Antarctic because that's like a character in the show. It's kinda like The Thing
Yeah.
where the coldness matters and it makes it more tense.
I didn't mind it being in the middle of the ocean because it kind of presents that same man versus nature quality because, the ocean is
Yeah,
just as dangerous as the Arctic. But yeah, it's very bad. We watched 2 episodes and said, "Nah, we can't." It's just
yeah.
not watchable.
I didn't even wanna
Um,
hate watch it.
no,
It had, like, a very, made for TV feel about it too,
it had the
especially some
vibe
of the
that it was
actors.
just yeah, it was like they got the green light to do a 2nd season, slapped something together real quick, and then just started going. Like, I can't imagine that the people from the 1st season were thrilled when they read that script.
No,
Uh,
probably not. They're probably
yeah.
thrilled with their bank account.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it was just a kind of a bummer because the 1st season really is so good. So if you do watch it, just stop after the 1st season and just pretend the 2nd one doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
and the 1st season kinda ties shit up with a bow too,
Oh, it really does. It does
so
not need
it's
a
good.
2nd season.
No, and yeah, I was immediately like, "This is gonna suck," because I couldn't think of a way that it could continue in any good way.
No, I feel like a lot of shows try to capitalize on the success of their 1st season by essentially doing the same thing again,
Yeah,
but, they don't do it in any kind of way that feels fresh. They just try to make it complicated and end up just spinning in circles. Yeah,
yeah,
it's bad.
not good.
No.
The new season of Ted Lasso, Miriam and I have been watching it, and this last episode, they went to, like, Amsterdam, and it was, like, 30 minutes longer than the other episodes, and it was very good. I gotta recommend Ted Lasso to everybody again.
When you say everybody, you mean mostly me.
No, I think I've given up on you. I don't think y the soccer is like an I feel like it's a deal breaker.
No, I don't think it is because I didn't even really know it was about soccer.
How?
I don't know. It just like nothing about it seems interesting to me.
Well, okay, the thing is, it is a wholesome show.
Yeah, I think
You
that's
don't like
kind of
feeling
why.
good.
Nah.
It is predictable because you just predict what's the most wholesome thing that could happen here,
Ugh.
and it's usually that. but it's like a nice break from just bummer TV.
I know okay, I know everybody likes to say that I don't like feel good stuff, and it's there's a difference to me between, like, shows that are kind of, like, happy and mindless and just kind of, I don't know, sitcom-y,
Mhm.
and, like, shows that exist specifically to be feel-good, wholesome shows, and, like, I don't know, it feels cheap to me somehow, and I'm saying this knowing absolutely nothing about Ted Lasso, so I could
Yeah.
be completely wrong about that show, but I'm just saying in general, if I know that something is written to be like a feel good, just a kind of happy cry type of show, I'm not interested because it doesn't sound like there's going to be enough there.
It doesn't manipulate I hate that shit, by the way. It doesn't really manipulate your emotions in that way. Like, you don't really happy cry too much, I don't think.
I saw a
There
lot
aren't
of
many.
people saying they were happy crying at the start of this season.
Oh, well, maybe I'm just not an easy crier. Yeah, I don't know. We're very different because
Yes.
for me, if the entire universe says a show's good, I'm gonna at least check it out. Like,
Yeah, I'm not
I gotta see.
that's not compelling enough for me. It almost makes me like it's the opposite effect. Like it
Yeah.
could be very good, but because it's so everywhere and because I can't turn on anything without seeing a Ted Lasso advertisement, it's like a spite thing.
Yeah, I get it. I just don't get it. I That's not me at all. I gotta watch it. That's why I watched Succession. I knew I
I
wasn't gonna
tried.
like it.
Yeah. See, there you go. There's an example that it's not always great just because the world says it's great.
Well, no, that's not what I said. I said if they say it's great, I'll check it out. It's not always great,
Well, yeah.
but if the whole world is like heaping praise on something, there's some part of my brain that wants to know why.
I think that I run the opposite direction because I don't like to get my hopes up for something
Yeah,
and then ultimately be like, this is just mediocre television.
which clashes with my personality sometimes because I'm an overseller.
Hmm.
So I will not hesitate to call things amazing, and then by the time you watch them, you're like,
Yeah,
and it's probably like got that effect. The fact that I said it's amazing
probably.
probably makes it less enjoyable.
Because I mean, when I don't tend to throw around the word amazing or like this is a great show
Yeah,
much unless it's like truly transcendent in some way for me. And there those shows do exist. Like I think Fleabag is a truly great show.
yeah, it is.
But I it's not a term that I use loosely. And for movies more so, especially because I know that my taste in movies is absolutely not for everybody. And usually when
Yeah.
I recommend movies, it's based entirely on who I'm recommending it to. So like I even tweeted something like this one time where if I say I think you'll like this movie, it's safe for you to watch. If I say I loved this movie, you probably don't need to watch.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm hesitant to overhype stuff because I know that people overhyping stuff for me ultimately leads to me not like feeling very underwhelmed.
yeah. Speaking of, season 4 of Barry came out.
Oh no.
It's 3 episodes deep, and it is amazing. I'm
Oh,
not
okay. I thought
scared to
you were
say
gonna say
that
you're
about
underwhelmed.
Barry. No, no, I think Bill Hader might be a genius.
Yeah.
It's so good on every level, and it's just getting better. And this is the last season, so I want to see how it wraps up. But I haven't been disappointed. I don't think I've been disappointed by like a single episode in this series. This is one that I tried to get you to watch too, I think.
Yeah, well, I actually watched a good portion of at least the first season.
Yeah.
I think with
What'd you nope
Barry,
out?
I have no idea at what point I noped out, but it was I didn't go beyond the first season. My reasoning, I think, was like nobody was likable. At least, like the theater people just all fucking sucked to me.
Yeah.
And it was like, why do you want to be in this community so bad? I hate all of them. So I
NoHo
feel like
Hank is likable, ironically.
I don't remember who that is.
He's like the guy with alopecia, like
Okay.
the mob
Yeah.
guy.
I don't know. I think Barry is one that maybe I could get into if I really sat down and gave it a chance. But it needs to be on my own terms because, like, whenever people are like, "Oh, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this," and then play it for me, I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Give it another shot, and if you get to season 2 and you wanna watch it, let me know.
Okay.
Because the best episode of that series is in season 2. It's like episode 5. It's insane. Like, guaranteed you've never seen anything like it before.
That's a really bold claim.
Uh, Guaranteed. There's no way you've seen anything close.
Okay.
It's nuts.
You know, the time for asking any question is right now.
This week, I pulled 2 questions off of Ask Reddit. The first one is, what do you find ugly that other people would find super attractive?
Interesting.
I know what mine is.
Um, Ugly is harsh. I don't know that I have anything that's like, ugh, gross. But I think that if we're talking about like in a person you may potentially be attracted to physically,
Uh-huh.
I'm not one for like bulging muscles. I
All
really
right.
don't like really ripped jock types.
I don't think you're alone there.
Probably not, but I think that the at least for men, that's like the ideal body, like the Marvel
Yeah.
superhero type, like the Chris Hemsworth.
It
Uh,
it's funny because I think that's the male version of mine, which is lip fillers.
oh, yeah.
I hate them.
Yeah, I think that men don't necessarily like it's not a trait that women look for, but it's a trait that men think makes them more attractive to women.
So I think for both, it's like for dudes, their muscles are for other dudes.
Yeah, it's a competitive
A
thing.
lot of that, yeah. And I think women do that same shit.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the lip fillers, I don't think a lot of dudes are attracted to it.
Lips are not something that I notice on people.
No, I don't unless they're gigantic.
Right, exactly.
And
And
then I
that's not
do.
a positive notice.
No, no, that is bad.
Yeah.
And that goes for like fake butts and all that shit.
Sometimes fake titties can be nice, but they're like not when they're clearly fake, I guess.
Yeah, like the overboard,
Yeah. Like if
not
you
good.
are laying down and your boobs are still pointed straight up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not how it works.
No.
So yeah, lip fillers and fakeness.
Yeah. That you're right. That is a very like equivalent thing where like too big muscles. Like you don't need that.
No, you don't. It's actually scary, probably.
Yeah, it
It
is.
probably it probably messes with a lot of those guys' ability to like date seriously.
Yeah, because it's like if I go out with this person, he turns out to be a piece of shit. He could kill me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You immediately give off that, "Oh, I'm gonna murder you" vibe
Mhm.
if this goes bad.
Or like we're gonna have an argument, and I'm gonna put my fist through a wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or I'm gonna hold you against the wall by your neck.
Yeah.
Wow, good
I
times.
mean, hot, but sometimes.
No, I mean in the bad way.
Gotcha.
Next question. What was the first movie you ever saw in a theater?
I have been asked this before, and I genuinely don't know, but it was likely like either a Disney original animated movie of some sort,
Mhm.
or maybe even George of the Jungle. It had to be
Oh,
like a kind of early to late 90s, probably late because otherwise I would have been too young. So like a late 90s Disney movie of some sort.
mine was definitely a Disney movie. Can you guess which one?
Peter Pan,
Nope.
Robin Hood.
Nope.
I was trying to go for the ones you hate.
No, I hate those because I was forced to watch them on
Yeah.
videotape
I
over and
don't
over.
know, but was it one you liked?
I honestly can't remember. I think it fucked me up a little bit. It was Bambi.
Oh god. Yeah, it would fuck you.
Yeah, that's definitely the first movie I went to see in a theater.
So many Disney movies used to be like that. Bambi, Fox and the Hound,
Yeah.
and many
What
others.
kid wants to see a
They're
deer's mom
so
die?
sad. Like so sad. Like
Yeah.
yeah, childhood trauma.
Yeah, and I think I was like 5.
Damn.
I wasn't ready to deal with death.
No.
4 or 5? I can't remember, 'cause I went to my grandpa's funeral when I was 6 or 7, and I think it was, like, before then because I knew what death was, and I think Bambi was the reason why.
Oh no.
Yeah. I bet it fucked with a lot of parents in the same
Oh,
way.
sure. Like, you having to have that conversation afterwards
Yeah.
with your kid, like, "Mommy,
Super
what
early.
happened to Bambi's mom?"
Yeah,
Uh.
and Bambi's all sad and shit and an orphan. Wow, what a terrible movie to take your kid to.
Yeah.
guy was like tearing him to pieces with his mouth. So I told him, get off, you know, it's like, and the guy just kept eating the other guy away, like ripping his skin.
Larry Vega describes it as a scene out of a horror movie as a naked man chewed off the face of another naked man.
Dude, we're making record time.
I know, I was just looking at the time
I was
too.
like, this feels early.
Yeah, there's just not much going on this week, what can I say?
Yeah, we didn't watch much,
No,
and
um,
my life is boring.
same.
Do you
I have
have
one bit
news?
of news, and I'm
Okay.
sure people have seen this, but the Maleficent dragon during the Disney Fantasia show caught fire.
I did see that.
Which is, like it's interesting, like, why after all these years of doing the exact same show, I don't know what caused the fire exactly, just maybe wind at the wrong time. Because
Yeah,
usually Disney is super cautious and, like, they won't do the fireworks show if it's a little too windy.
right.
So, yeah, I don't
I
know what the cause was. I just thought it was really funny because, like, there's so many pictures and videos all over the place. Disney could not have covered it up if they tried.
No. The video I saw had, like, a kid that was like, I don't think it's supposed to do that," and that really made me laugh. Those videos make me laugh in general because it's always funny that people think it's part of the show for a few seconds.
Yeah, well, there's all these pyrotechnics and shit at those
Yeah,
kind of shows, so and it's a fucking dragon.
yeah. Have you ever seen that video where, like, all the fireworks go off at the same time?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
that
that's
same it's that same thing where I'm watching it, I'm like, "Oh," they're like, "Oh, pretty," but that lasts for about 5 seconds,
right, and
and then
then
they start
screaming.
running. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this might be cool, except, uh-oh, now the trees are on fire, and I don't think that's supposed to
Yeah, it's
happen.
not great.
The good thing is, like, I think where that show takes place is in the middle of, like, this lake type thing in the middle of the park.
Yeah, I definitely saw a lot of water.
Yeah, hopefully it was relatively easy to contain, but I can't even imagine being at Disneyland and that happen like, I was a little jealous, like, I
Yeah.
wish that happened when I was there not that long ago.
No shit, you get, like, a great story.
Yeah, but I also can't imagine having to evacuate, like, literally, talk about don't yell fire in a crowded theater. D it that times 1,000 because Disneyland is always super packed.
That reminds me of, that episode of IT Crowd when he's like, "A fire in a sea park." Do you
I
remember
don't
this?
remember that.
He's dating a girl who claims her family died in a fire at SeaWorld, and it, like, consumes him for the entire episode, like, trying to figure out in his head how that happened.
That is vaguely familiar now, yeah.
Yeah, that's what this reminded me of.
Yeah,
Like, if
basically.
that just fucks up, the dragon just falls in the water or whatever,
Yeah,
and the
except
fire
then
goes
it was,
out.
like, in the surrounding trees, so
Yeah, not great.
no.
My piece of news is that Sherlock Holmes 3 is in development with Robert Downey Jr. set to return.
I saw that. I saw it was like Susan Downey said that it's a priority for Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
Um,
I like
I
those
like those
movies.
movies.
You did not?
I did.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law as, like, partners solving crimes is very good.
Yeah, it's
And they
great.
have, like, a very great bromance. So and I noticed that it did not say Jude Law was returning. So if he's not, that's a crime, but if he is, then I'm psyched.
I bet if Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, Jude Law will too.
You fucking better.
Yeah, I definitely like those movies.
Yeah.
I think I saw both of them in the theater, actually.
Yeah, I think I might have also I remember liking the second one more and, like, showing it to a bunch of people. It also ended with the fucking I forget the name, the something falls,
Uh,
and, like, thinking Sherlock is dead, but he's not, so I wonder if Sherlock 3 is gonna just be like, "Boo, I'm alive."
yeah, maybe. I wish the TV show would come back.
Oh, yeah, I don't have
Was
high hopes for that. That was always,
No.
like We'll film the next season in 5 years when both of them
Yeah.
are free.
That's kind of the UK's MO when they're making shit.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's publicly funded, so they, like, spread the love around.
That and also the UK only has, like, a handful of really prolific actors, so
Yeah.
they're in absolutely everything, plus live shows at, like, palaces and theaters in London.
Mhm.
So, I'm sure it's just hard to get all the cast together.
I hope they do someday, though. That show was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
Very good.
be good.
I'm very excited. Are you excited?
No.
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 Nope,
No, not at all.
nothing exciting.
I
Yeah,
looked. There's nothing.
no.
It's dead. And I can't remember if I brought this up last week, but the Writers Guild authorized a writer's strike.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, which I think goes into effect May 1st if they end up striking. And then our content's going to suck for a while, probably.
Yep, it will continue to suck.
Yep. The last time they had a strike, I think it was right before 2008, which was not great for the economy or the writing people.
It's funny because we kind of started off this podcast like we were going to be watching mostly new stuff coming out and then sprinkling in our own picks only when there wasn't something to watch.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just turned into us picking our own shit because absolutely fuck all is coming out.
Yeah, I was expecting like way more. I was expecting like good shit to come out every week in my head.
Yeah, or at
That is
least
not the
like
case.
once a fucking month, but not even that.
No, and I still look.
Yeah.
I'm looking every week, and
Mhm.
we just end up doing our own picks because everything's bad.
Yep, which I
Uh,
don't have a problem
speaking of,
with.
hey, what are we watching this week? I think it's your pick.
It is. It's a me pick. It's a me.
It's a me.
Okay, I'm gonna explain. So first we're gonna watch a movie called The Lair. It's from 2002. Or not 2002, sorry, 2022 is what I
Yeah,
mean.
I was
Um
about to say, uh-oh, got the wrong one.
You have here that it's on AMC Plus or Shudder, but I believe it's also on Amazon Prime. I think that's where I watched it. I don't
Oh,
know if it's
free?
still there. It was. I
Okay.
don't know if it still is. So, if you look up this movie ahead of time, you will see that it is proudly sitting at a 4.5 out of 10 stars on IMDb, and I think maybe even lower on Rotten Tomatoes. I had a great time watching this movie. It is a creature feature, which is my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
It's an action horror movie. It's like impossible to spoil because I'm just telling you the plot is that there are monsters and they fight monsters. And I think that's beautiful and that's all you need sometimes. And it
Yeah.
really just hit that spot for me. There's plenty of like mixed performances. There's some that are really killing it, putting in the work, and
Mhm.
then some that are just atrocious. And I think that's also beautiful. So I think we're gonna have a great time watching this.
I'll make fun of it in a hot second
Hell
if it's
yeah.
got bad acting.
Me too. And you will know instantly who the worst actor
That's
is.
that's kinda what, like, rekindled my love of horror, is that if it's shitty, I still have a great time.
Yeah, and this is one that I don't think that it needs to have a robust plot. Like, I think creature features in general have a lot of room to just play in the space with making their stuff look cool, like whether
Yeah.
that's the monster design or practical gore. And I think this movie has both of those that are pretty fun. And other than that, it's just a romp. And I'm delighted to be watching it again.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this one because it sounds fun.
Yeah.
I think you've suggested this just for
I don't
us to watch
I
for
don't know if
fun.
I suggest yeah, for fun, yeah, because I watched it and I was like, I actually love this even though it looks terrible.
I specifically remember the underground bunker part of
Yeah,
the description.
it has a very Resident Evil vibe to it because again, it's just like this kind of hot skinny chick who's shooting big gross monsters and it's like that's all you need
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah.
1 hour, 36 minutes.
That's
Can't beat
also
that
why I
either.
chose it because I was like that's a great runtime.
Yeah, it is. That's, like, perfect for us.
Yeah.
Alright. Wow.
This is
That's
short
it.
boy.
That's a short boy. Kinda nice because 'cause I'm tired.
Yeah.
I I could use a short boy, but next week I'm on vacation for 2 weeks.
So we're gonna talk for 2 hours.
Maybe because we gotta do the Beth episode.
Yeah, that'd be a fun. Maybe next week will be Beth time.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I mean, good night.
Good night. That's right. It's nighttime now. Go to sleep.
Why don't you count some sheep? I have new headphones and this is so loud.
Good.
Holy crap. All my sound effects are blowing my ears out. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.